One. What's up, everyone? Oh, wait. I'm forgetting one important thing. I need to see clearly, now that week 16 is over and the playoff field is starting to, be a lot more neat and clean and clear. What's going on, everybody? We're back on a Monday. So, what's going on, man? You just blacked out for the day?
I'm in mourning. Welcome to this morning Monday. Fucking stupid Legends Clubhouse. I'm here, not in a good mood.
Why aren't you in a good
Um,
mood?
I am Bobby Caboose, as always, with that stupid fucking towel on his head. Is Lawson Turner. What's going on, man?
I'm in a great mood this Monday, and yes, we have our terrible towel on. Let me actually take this goofy thing off. I was trying to include my terrible towel at some point, but the fact of the matter is, I had an amazing weekend. How about you? What did you do over the weekend?
I went to a Christmas party and was thrilled,
You look thrilled. It's this. It's
and
this.
then
Go ahead.
and then I got my heart ripped out from the NFL yesterday.
From the NFL.
Yeah, from the
No,
NFL.
nothing else. Nothing in particular. Just the NFL.
Um, I mean, yes, the NFL ripped my heart out, and I'm sure we'll get into it.
Right.
Um, but it's hard here on a Monday, knowing that your season is over and that it's not everything to blame the NFL. I mean, you have to, you know, el- it would be better to get 0 yards in the third quarter than -3. Um, Do you know, hey, do you know how many, so the last 2 weeks, do you know how many yards that the Lions have put up in the third quarter the last 2 weeks?
Combined or like in
Combined.
different? No, enlighten me.
Guess.
Okay,
In the
I'm
third quarter alone.
just the third quarter. Okay, I'm gonna throw out a number
Yep.
and you tell me higher or lower. Okay.
Okay.
Well, they had minus what was it 3 yesterday? -3.
We'll go with -3 because I think that it's
Okay.
pretty accurate.
All right. So against the Rams the week before, I mean it was an offensive shootout, so it had to be what like 180
Lower.
lower. Okay, so
You're talking only third quarter.
yeah,
You're not
yeah.
talking
Yeah.
second half
Yeah.
or only
No
talking
four,
third quarter.
no fourth, no second, no first quarter, just the third quarter. Okay, so NFL, parameters, it's 100 yards. You know, it's 15 minutes a quarter. If it's lower than 80, let's go 50. I think 50 is
Lo
a solid
lower.
lower. Okay, so we're back to the parameters. So an NFL field is 100, yards, go on the goal line. 50 is half, so if it's less than half, it's gotta be what, like 20? Let's cut it in half, 25.
Lower.
Lower than 20?
Yep.
Was it 10?
Lower. And I'm not making this up. Like, this is not for shits and gigs.
Did they at least get in the positive?
How tall are you?
6'3".
All right. They
I got,
so
I got 2
so
yards.
they the last two third quarters they have gained 2 yards
Hold on.
of offense.
I'm not calling you a liar, but I need to see this with my own eyes because there's
They had 5 yards in the total offense in the third quarter against the Rams, and they had -3 against the Steelers in the third quarter.
in the in the third quarter against the Rams. They had the ball for 4 minutes. They had 13 rushing yards and -8 passing yards, so that's 5. Uh, okay, and then I don't and then yeah, they had it for 51 seconds and had -3 passing. Dude, going into the game, and we had talked about it, the fact that Dan Campbell's never lost back to back, and even though obviously I could come
Well,
out
for like 3 years, like he
right,
did his first year,
yeah,
like
yeah,
oh
right, But like since this iteration of the Detroit Lions, the fact that going into it, I was like, it's gonna be really scary because even without Sam Laporta, you have a hell of an offensive talent from top to bottom. The only thing that was scary for me is I want to see without without Nick Herbig, without T.J. Watt, and some other injuries that we had, I wanted to see how we would look against that offense, and the fact that and it was a resemblance of the Monday night game, which however many people watched because it was Steelers and Miami. The fact that both third quarters were identical. That's what the Steelers did to Miami, and
Hmm.
it's mal because literally, if you watch the Monday night game and you turn on the third quarter, Steelers got the ball to start the second half. They drove all the way down the field to score a touchdown. Miami went 3-and-out. Pittsburgh held it like the entire rest of the quarter. And
Yeah.
that was basically what happened to Detroit. And I'm like, for an offense that has, Amon St. Brown, Jameer Gibbs, Jamo Williams, the best, arguably the best tackle, left or right in the entire NFL. Dave Montgomery, serviceable, backup who's a beast. Jared Goff. And the fact that they had the ball for three plays. I think about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, it was like plays ran in the second half, and it was like Steelers 26, Detroit 3. And I was like, that's so. I would fucking be livid, dude. Because I know
So
you
there's
enjoy going to the bar to watch the game. How was the atmosphere in that third
I
quarter?
I stayed home yesterday. So the people that the girlfriend and I had kind of a long weekend.
Yeah.
We went out Friday and we went
Mm-hmm.
out Saturday. So yesterday we were kind of both just dead.
Mm-hmm.
So we and a lot of our people that we go to the bar with, they're season ticket holders. So when they're when it's a home game, the bar is kind of a ghost town. So we decided to just stay home.
Yeah.
She was playing video games the whole time, and I watched it, with my dad. But um, there was a couple things about this game. First of all, when you need a stop for Detroit and they run a jet sweep twice to start their drive. After the first time, don't you think it's coming the second fucking time? Like they ran the exact same play for like 12 or 13 yards to get past midfield or close to midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, when you get the ball back after a doink, it's you got 9 seconds or so before the 2 minute warning. Everyone in the fucking building knows you're gonna fucking run a draw to Jameer Gibbs. Like, dude, I thought I was watching Full House because whatever happened to predictability. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was calling these plays on the couch. Like, this is what they're gonna do. And for the fact that the defense didn't know they were gonna run a jet sweep after they already had done it and had so much success, how do you not defend that? How do you run it with Gibbs like that? Like you just saw something that in your own playbook you have. Why not fake a draw and do an end around to JMO, to the fastest guy in the fucking league? Um, Again, I don't disagree with the call as far as being a run because you do have one of the best running backs in the league, but
Mm-hmm.
everyone in the building knew you were going to do a draw. Do something different. Second of all, or third of all, or fourth of all, or whatever.
Whatever evolves we're on.
How are you? They got to fix this, either this pick rule or whatever. Like I don't. I feel like again I'm gonna be biased on the Lions side, but I feel
Right.
like the Pittsburgh Steelers defender made contact first with Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
and we get penalized for a first of all, you shouldn't even be running that play on first and goal.
Yeah, that's
You should be putting David Montgomery in there and running it up the gut. You have 20 some seconds that you can run a couple plays
yeah.
with I think they had one timeout maybe at the time, maybe none, but
Plenty
still,
of
even if they
time.
have zero,
They did have one
you can
timeout
get
left.
Yeah, you can get to the line. Terrible play call.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the pick like they got to figure out the pick rule because sometimes it's a pick and sometimes it's not a pick. Like it's unacceptable the inconsistency with that call because it feels like if they want to call it they'll call it, if they don't want to call it they won't call it. There's the first fucking thing. Then you go from first and goal at the one where again you have a beast in a running back of David Montgomery that likes to take hits. He can get in. Then you get a false start penalty. How do you get false starts at home are unacceptable.
Right.
Like you don't have to deal with fucking crowd noise. I don't care about the fucking 10 Pittsburgh fans in there. They're not gonna affect your snap count or being able to fucking hear.
Mm-hmm.
Third of all, we have so many calls from New York and let's get this shit right. But when a player goes over to a fan and punches them in the face and a call from New York doesn't happen and everyone sees it in the fucking arena, everyone sees it on social media, yet the ref didn't see it. So there is no flag, there's no ejection, no nothing. Like, how
Yeah,
is that
and
not a call from New York?
I was
Like,
gonna say,
how do they not say like, hey, DK just fucking went and slapped some dude, kick him out of the game? Like, what the fuck is that? And like, I would like your opinion on some of this stuff because
yeah,
again, I am biased. But if this wasn't
right.
your team, I kind of want to hear what you think about it after my little
Yeah, yeah,
thing right here. Um, and then we'll go to the last play of the game where it's there's so much there's to me
yeah.
there's so much wrong and again I am being a little biased but like if I
Right.
even if I saw it as two neutral teams
Mm-hmm.
this is what's wrong with the NFL. There's okay, there is a questionable call for pass interference. Like it could have went either way. I feel like it was literally like okay, like if you want to call it you can call it, if you don't want to call it I feel like it's that was one of the most 50-50 pass interference calls you could have done. Second of all, you get the touchdown, and why? What you know? What pisses me off about the NFL is okay. There's a flag. The result is a touchdown. So why not? Why does the game end like that? Why isn't it a flag? Okay, 15 yards or whatever the fuck the penalty is, and replay the down. The result of the play favored the offense, yet the penalty didn't. So it should just be a 15-yard penalty or whatever fucking penalty it is for offensive pass interference,
Mm-hmm.
and repeat down from the 15 or the 10 or wherever. So I have
The
beef with that
yeah.
because the game shouldn't end like that. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And that would go if my team was on defense too. It's
Right.
like why how like if the penalty if you decline the penalty and the result was not a touchdown, I understand ending the game. But if you decline the penalty, then you take the other result.
Right.
So I don't understand it when you accept the penalty, nothing happens and the game just ends, or you decline it and the game ends and it's touchdown. So there should be a fucking play after that.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is I 100% believe because if this was the call, if pass interference and was the call, touchdown was the result, and the result of the flag was the end of the game, why did it take 5+ minutes for the refs to figure that out? I feel like they were like it was like I again I don't want to get into super conspiracy theories
Yeah.
and all this bullshit, but to someone that is on the fence about the NFL's integrity, how does that call take more than 5 minutes to make where everyone's confused? It was almost like okay, which team does the NFL want to win?
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, if that was the result of the call, that call should have been made within 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
like the confusion and stuff, it
Right.
just that's why people doubt and people joke about scripts and shit like that, is because of actions like that. Like, it should not take that long to, if that's the call, and get it done within a minute. Not have all these referees around, not the players not knowing what the fuck is going on. Both teams are celebrating, or both, like, the fans were cheering on and off because they were seeing the replay. Like, people that were at the game, because they don't see the 26 replays on TV, they were confused as fuck. Like, it's to me, it's unacceptable. Like,
Hmm.
what other sport would take that long to figure out the last play of a game? And if it's so cut and dry and that's the clear call, then why does it take so long?
The to magnify the last play, what I think took them so long was because they wanted to know, okay, what's the result? Because when I was watching the game, before I even saw a flag, when Goff zipped it to Amon-Ra, I was like, hold them, and I thought they blew the whistle. Like when
Hmm.
J Ram and JPJ started driving Amon-Ra backwards, I thought they blew it. Then I see the ball come out and Golf get it and dive for a touchdown. So my understanding was they're taking so long because they don't know if the whistle was blown or not. Once again, I'm not in the hub in the huddle with the zebras. I was about to say the the hubra, but it's funny because when I was watching, and the second that ball hit Amon, he caught it and they started driving him back, I thought they blew it. I assume when they huddled up, they're like, okay, did somebody blow this thing dead? Because obviously it's the last play of the game. You want to be more lenient to see, okay, can he pitch it? Can he XYZ, whatever. But yeah, when I was watching it, I was like, did they blow it? And then when I saw Golf, turn into Superman and dive for it and get into the end zone, I was like, the play wasn't dead. And then I see flag and I see offensive PI and they're all, well, I see flags and then it took them 12 minutes to figure it out, and I'm just like, what the fuck's the flag on? Because I didn't know if someone like one it and flags can be anything from getting a hand in a little early. I'm just gonna say there was the fourth and what was it, the 4th and 14 that Kyle Duggar got there just a second early that extended
Hmm.
that drive, and when I saw a flag, I was like, "Don't tell me they're gonna get the ball on the inch line and like start out, super spread and run Jameer and Montgomery in the backfield, and we're gonna get confused or walked off." That was my understanding of the call, was that it took so long because the refs didn't even know when they held up. They're like, did somebody blow it dead for forward progress on the 1 yard line where it was short? And then when I saw the PI, it looked like just a normal top of your route outbreaking, and then Amon-Ra extended. And most of the time, I think I've brought this up on the show before. A lot of more often than not, they don't look for the contact or the flail. They look for the extension of anything. So when Amon-Ra extended, and Jalen Ramsey did a great job of flailing, like holy fuck, he pushed me. Um, but yeah, with that game was ridiculous in terms of I don't think I've ever and or will ever see a game end like that with so much confusion at the end. Now, when it comes to the
Oh, just watch Lions on the regular, dude. Like, it happens all the time. Like for real. That's why, like, it's so hard for, Lions fans, and,
yeah,
like, I hate when it sounds like poor us, blah blah blah, feel
hmm,
bad. But dude, when it happens to you over and over and over again, where these fluky fucking finishes happen and you're always on the butt end of it, like,
when is it my
it,
turn?
yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
and to me, like, the last couple years, Detroit's almost taken the moniker of America's team, because people like the lovable losers and shit,
mm,
like, look at the Cubs when they won the World Series and all that.
yeah,
But, like, dude, how many times can we be on the fucking wrong end of the stick, man? Like, we are shoved in the shit all the fucking time, and it never goes our way. And, like, it's like, okay, we got to win out basically to make the playoffs going into that game. it's like I guess I kind of expected. I guess I kind of was an idiot and expected almost like an NBA type rule, like, hey, final play, like final drive to the bucket, you gotta get punched in the fucking face to get a foul. Like, we're gonna let him play. And to me, I know you mentioned the extending of the arms. But dude, I think that call was soft. I think it was a
Hmm.
very 50-50 call. Like, they could
Yeah.
have definitely let him play. As far as if they were, whistled dead or not, on something like that, if it's the last play of the game, dude, you can't whistle something dead. You got to
Right.
tackle the motherfucker.
100%.
Like, I don't care if he's got 10 guys on his back and he looks like a senior pulling, 11 third graders. Like, I don't care, dude. Like, make them tackle him.
Agreed.
Make them either force, a weird pitch that the other team fucking recovers or what. But like, you
Hmm.
got to get the ball down.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just, it's like I said, man, it's frustrating. And like, maybe it was the right call, maybe it wasn't, but like, for the Lions to be on the shit end of the stick
Once again.
once again on a controversial call, on a call that could have went both ways, a call that would only go against the Lions, and especially like Goff, like you said, Supermaning into the end zone. It was fucking awesome. Like, people went fucking nuts to just fucking have it ripped out from
Yeah.
underneath us. And I know the Steelers needed to win as well, but
Detroit needed
it's
it
like,
more.
okay, Detroit needed it more, and does the NFL just want Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs? Like, it just, to me, yeah, someone that does question things from time to time, it's
Hmm.
just another thing to add to the list of the Lions just getting lioned.
The Lions getting lined. The thing too about you brought this up, and I'm sure the small clarification when it comes to, oh well, why wasn't there just an extra play then? Why, how come there wasn't a one untimed down? It is the rule that the game cannot end on a defensive penalty. It
Hmm.
can end on an offensive penalty, because there was a game in 2015, 16. It was a Raiders Chiefs game, and at the end of the game there was a pass interference call in the end zone, and it literally went like pass interference, offensive pass interference, all within like 4 seconds. All, well, not 4 seconds, all within like 4 plays. And so there was genuinely like five untimed downs. And
Yeah.
it would be interesting to see if they were to incorporate okay, well, if you accept it, then it's going to be 10, 15 yards, the other way, and then they're going to get an untimed down and huck it in the end zone. The only the only spot where that could get murky, oh well, if you're in bad position, just pull the DB down.
So no, so this is where you fix that.
Mm-hmm.
This is my point
Yeah.
when I bring that up, is if you decline the penalty, like, it depends on what the result of the play
Right.
was. I mean, if it's offensive pass interference and, you know, because we're talking about a scoring play here.
Correct.
There was no timeout left. We're talking about a scoring play. So essentially, if you decline that,
And it's a score.
it should be it would be a touchdown.
Right.
But if you accept it, and if I guess if you decline the penalty and it helps the offense to a point where they win, that's when, or if they score, that's
Mm-hmm.
when it should be a replay of down. If say if same scenario happened, but it happened at the 5 yard line. If you decline it, it doesn't matter because the game is over because there's no time.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my issue is if you accept this penalty, then the game shouldn't just fucking end. Like,
Right.
it should be like, okay, you accept the penalty and now you got to replay it because, yeah, it's supposed to penalize the offense. It's not supposed to just be like, okay, fuck you, you're done. Like, that's
The
that's where my issue is. Like, if he would have got sacked on that play and there was still a offensive pass interference,
then
you
it's
decline the penalty
take the
and
sack.
the game is
Right.
over.
Mm-hmm. I
It
I
can't
see what you're
be.
saying. Yeah.
It can't. Both results, whether you accept or decline, can't benefit one team or the other.
Uh, uh, uh,
That's my issue.
right. And it's It's really interesting because it is a very, very niche specific scenario in which this takes place at. You know, because
Hmm.
once again, when's the last time a game's ever ended like this? And I thought it was
Right.
really kind of weird and cinematic for the ref to say the result of the play is a touchdown. However, and I'm like,
Right.
okay, right, like like
Like
normally it's okay, offensive pass interference number 14, by rule the game is over, or
right. Like let me
whatever.
kick you in the dick one more time before you leave. Like
Because when the flags happened and then Amron was stopped and then Goff dove in, the crowd roared, and then there was a flag and confusion, and the whole Steelers bench was like walking on, just sitting on the side, not on the sideline, they were all on the fucking field,
yeah.
and then they were just standing like, is it good? Is it not good? What are we doing? And then, yeah, for the ref to come out and say the result of the play is a touchdown. However, and I was like, oh. And then when they said the game is over, I was like, we kind of just, because, you know, we talk lightly about betting and stuff on the show from time to time. From the line, this should not have been a coin flip game. Like the Steelers were a whole touchdown underdogs, and the
Yeah.
fact that that's just a kick in the nuts for Detroit, to where it's like, okay, now they got to win out and Green Bay has to lose out. Now Green Bay does have a difficult game against Baltimore coming up, but it is at home, so we'll see.
Yeah, but I guess my biggest point here is
Hmm.
that a game should never end on the officials. Like
Right.
it should there should never be a scenario where they're like, nope, game's over. Like, okay, if there was a flag, then you know the penalty should just be like the rest of the fucking game.
Yeah. It's
So
I was gonna say, I don't know when the next time we'll see a game end like this again. And it was
probably
even
never,
right.
or it'll be a Lions game.
Watch the Lions next week, and we'll see.
Dude, I'm done. Like I don't. I'm glad I don't have to watch the Lions on Christmas. I'm glad I don't have to watch them the rest of the season. I can enjoy my Sundays again and not even have to worry.
Dude,
Especially Christmas, man. I want to watch Christmas Story.
right, the playbook. I do want to highlight one play, and they'll and then we'll get into DK and the Lions fan. That play before half with Kenneth Gainwell, because when I saw Rogers huck it and he jumped backwards for the ball, and I'm like, what the fuck are they gonna call this? Then I see Gainwell get up and score and run and do this, and I'm like, did he catch that shit? And then when it
By
goes,
the way, how is that not How is that not offensive pass interference? I mean, fucking, he flew Anzalone almost out of bounds.
I genuinely thought it was
Like, what
gonna
is going on?
I genuinely thought it was gonna be there are penalties on both teams. Pass
Yeah,
interference, offense,
same,
pass interference, defense.
same. I don't
Like,
know. There was more contact on that play that resulted in a touchdown than that last play of the game.
yeah, and still a crazy like concentration catch and the awareness to, oh fuck, I need to get touched, get up and go. But that play was fucking nuts too. And the two Jalen Warren touchdowns, I was like, and that's when I'm writing an article about some of the biggest takeaways, and it's like lightning doesn't strike twice, but the injury bug sure the fuck does.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate for the Lions now to.
I mean, again, though I mentioned those jet sweeps, though that those two Warren runs were almost the exact same.
They were literally
Almost the exact same.
right.
And you're like, okay, dude, like you're not making adjustments. As soon as that touchdown right before half happened, I was like, we're in trouble. Like I was like, that switched the whole momentum of the game.
Hmm.
Like it was just like, okay. Well, it didn't seem like the Lions had much, especially in the third quarter. I mean, like I said, -3 yards, 2 fucking yards in the third quarter last 2 weeks. Like that, you know what that tells me? That tells me no halftime adjustments. It tells me that the defense knows what you're going to run,
Right.
and they figured out how to beat Detroit, keep them off the field. Detroit is the most fraudulent offense in the league this year because they lead the league in points per game. You know who they got those fucking points against? A shitty Bears team week 2, who are not the Bears of right now.
Right.
fucking two teams that fucking blow ass in Ohio, and the the Rams because it was a shootout, and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Everyone else, they don't fucking score, dude. You know how many wins they have against playoff teams? Two. And the Bucks ain't even in the playoffs no more.
I saw a stat that they were like 0 and 4 in game. Well, not yeah, I think they were like 0 and 4, 0 and 5, maybe 1 and 4 in games where they scored 30 or lower. So it's like you have to get 31,
Yeah,
and that's fucking hard to do on anybody.
right.
It's just that whole,
Especially a playoff team.
especially a playoff team. Now to
But
go.
yeah, so what is your thought about the DK thing, man? Do I like I said, how you have this instant access to New York or our favorite people, Mike Pereira and that other douche. Um, you have access to these people, yet they can't make a call about someone literally hitting a fan in the face.
When I saw when because it was this because I don't remember if it was the Lions were on the field. No, yeah, the Lions offense was on the field, so they just kind of zoomed in on it on like on a replay, and I was like, what the? And then when I saw DK like jerk dude down and say something, then just kind of mush him off, I was like, DK, it's and Chad Ochocinco on Nightcap yesterday said that he talked to DK, and DK said he used a racial slur, the N word, and dude called DK's mom the C word. And the NFL wants you. I don't give the NFL, not me. I don't give a damn what is said to you. Keep your shit in. I'd feel a type of way too, and I'm expecting. Obviously, it's what's probably going to happen: $75,000 fine, and he's going to be suspended a game. Now, I saw this morning that apparently DK has reported to the security that fan before, because last year when he was on Seattle, he was saying something. He said something to DK again, or something last year. Now, do I condone hitting fans? No. But once again, if what DK and Ochocinco are saying are true, then that's inexcusable, and kind of get you kind of get what you get. The fans said that he called DK his legal like government name, and I'm like, 1,000 people have called DK DeKalen before, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna, oh, I'm gonna walk over, jerk you down, and mush you away. But yeah, it's crazy
Yeah,
that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say
And it
I
puts
you know
Lions fans in a bad spot too, because all the people that are around, it's like Detroit fans aren't like that.
right, and that's what I was gonna say, dude. Like I don't want to call DK a liar. I don't
Right.
want I and I you know fortunately fortunately I don't have to go through much prejudice, right?
Right.
It sucks that it happens. I don't condone it in any way possible, but without knowing what the dude said for sure, I feel like sometimes this could be a cop out for athletes because I feel like that's like it always seems to be like every time something like this happens, it seems like there was a slur or something said, and I'm
Right.
like thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, like I don't know many, and again, look, I'm not saying one way or the other, but I have never been at a sporting event where or any kind of event where people are just slinging those slurs or like
Mm.
and especially if they would, I feel like people around them would step in and be like, dude, that's not cool. Like
That's.
I have faith in humanity as far
Mm.
as a whole that would be controlled. So like not like again, it's a
Oh,
touchy
it'll come out.
subject because I don't want it to sound like I'm insensitive or don't believe it, but it's just, you know, it's an easy like if you fuck up, which DK did, it's an easy like, oh, well he said this.
Right.
You know
And
what I mean? Like and like I said, I don't. It's a hard subject to touch because like it is a sensitive subject, and I don't condone any of that. but like without knowing the truth,
Mhm.
because like even the announcers were like, "This is probably on DK's head, like mind, like blah 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 blah. His mind's probably not in the game after this
The
because he's thinking about the fine and the suspension and all this." So is
mhm.
he the entire game? He's thinking about this, and you know it because he's dropping passes
I was
left
gonna
and
say
right and bringing.
the literal next drive, Rogers threw him like 2 balls just to kind of get his mind right, and it hit him right in the
Mm,
chest, and he caught one, and then I think it might have been the next time Steelers touched the ball, he had another drop, and I was like, okay, DK, if you're going to, and once again, don't hit fans. If you're gonna do that, and then like the immediate next time that the ball was towards his way, it was dropping away. Okay, it's in his head right now. It's in his head right now.
right. And the thing is too is there was a security guard right behind him.
Mhm.
If he would have heard him say something, I'm sure he would have got escorted out of the building.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't noticed, Detroit isn't the whitest area in America, so they're not going to tolerate
Any
that
racial
type of
to
shit,
nobody.
right? So it just if it's true, then shame on that fan. No one should do that. But if it's not true, shame on DK and
Right.
shame on the athletes that do pull that because if it's not true, if it's the boy who cries wolf, then there's no room for that either.
Right.
You know.
And the fact
So
that good.
no, go ahead.
The fact too, like, for I remember when, now once again this wasn't towards a fan, but when Myles Garrett did what he did to Mace Rudolph and bonked him in the head with his helmet, afterwards Myles Garrett said that Mason Rudolph called him a slur.
Right.
And then the NFL did their like investigation and looked over the whatever audio they had, and they couldn't find anything. It's like, oh well, so you used that instance, and it wasn't true. Now once again, whether the NFL found it or not, it doesn't say if what was or was not said. I'm sure it'll eventually come out. Like example, and it's fans in general, they don't want that to be the instance that ruins experiences for future fans. Like, not all
Right.
fans are like that. It
Going
makes
back to the
fans look
Mason
bad.
Rudolph thing, going on back to you think this dude, like, again, if they didn't find any evidence doing this, so
Right.
I'm going on the side that he is not guilty of this. Do you think he would really do that with, probably 80% of his locker room being African American? Like, if he would
Right.
have done that, dude, he would have got kicked out of the league almost immediately.
Look at look at Riley Cooper.
Richie Right. Richie Incognito did that back in the day, but he also did it towards his teammates and did it, at least felt comfortable enough around his teammates to think that he was accepted doing that, which,
Don't
if
right.
that's your prerogative, that's your prerogative. I mean, like you have a lot of black friends. I have black friends, and I'm sure you've heard you got the barbecue pass. I do too, too with my friends. Like
And I'm still just like, nah, dog. That's a different.
right,
And like to Teehee, it's just, it's a really touchy thing overall, because once again, when I initially saw it, I was like, damn, that's bad on DK. No matter what was said, you don't, you try and keep your emotions in check. And then I didn't watch Nightcap, but I saw the clip of Chad Ochocinco saying, I talked to DK, and DK said that he used the N word and he called his mom the C word. And I was like,
mm-hmm.
I am more, I understand. Once again, if I was in DK shoes, I might have done the same thing. I don't know, because
Right,
you don't disrespect moms, and you don't use racial slurs or hate speech towards nobody.
right.
It's just
No,
a
I
messy spot.
completely agree. I just, again, my point if it wasn't the case and you used that card, um, you know, you got to be careful about the boy who cries wolf.
Right.
And on the other side, I feel like if that was used, especially in that situation, especially the city that we're in, with the security right behind him. I feel like he would have gotten
Mhm.
some um, retaliation from some of the fans. Like
Yeah.
Detroit people are we are we we know we're multicultural here. Whether it's Arab, we have a big Arab population. We have black community, white community, Polish, Italian. We have everyone here. So it's sort of a little bit of a melting pot. And I just don't think people nowadays would put up with that shit if it was directed towards
Oh,
someone of the opposite race. I have a hard time believing someone, especially from my area, Detroit, where people usually aren't hesitant to say what's on their mind.
Lions fans released a new video from the stand showing DK getting into it with a Detroit fan. It looks like the fan is like 4 rows behind and to the left. All it shows is DK walking over. Now, once again, we're on air, so I won't listen to it until, after the show and all that.
Hmm.
But it's, I don't know, the whole, because I've seen a couple camera angles where DK's walked over, just kind of snatched his shit.
Yeah.
It's just really touchy because once again, I don't condone it at all. However, at the same time, if racial slurs were used in disrespecting his mom, I'm more of a it is what it is, and I'm not obviously. I think he's back.
You froze. Now you're
You
back.
you froze, and now you are back.
Well, what did you hear from me? I said,
I said I'm gonna go. I was going to say this part and disagree with, and then it cut. So I
okay.
assume you were disagreeing with my point.
Yes, I was about to make the point that I disagree because the football fans aren't on top of the players. They can stand by the sidelines. You're not you. There's plenty of space not to interact. It's not like baseball where
Right.
fans are right there, or basketball where you have your courtside seats. You can football is the easiest sport to avoid the fans because there's such a distance between the players and the fans.
Right, but what I'm
There's
saying
no
is
reason
if
for them
you're
to go over there except if you're dabbing somebody up after a touchdown or you're Lambo leaping.
yeah, and what I'm saying is I'm not I'm comparing it to the other sports, but it's not obviously you're not, like example, if I'm sitting courtside and Kevin Durant is on like the left wing, I could reach out, fucking dap him up or whatever, like in the middle of play.
Yeah.
The thing with the NFL is if you get one of those seats behind the bleachers, that's as close as you're gonna get. And
Hmm.
so that's where I was more relative towards your other sports. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
just overall, and I've said it 1,000 times, it's a sticky situation when it comes to DK.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
I'm hoping that we learn more. Again, like, I hope people don't watch this episode and think that, I think some kind of way because that has, there nothing with racial um ends to it.
Connotations.
None of it should be in sports or in life in general. People are
Hmm.
people. So again, if you wanna call someone's mom a bitch, I'm all for it, but don't
Don't cross the
don't
race
be
line.
using the slurs. Don't
Yeah.
be you know
I'm more,
creating more hate than there already is.
yeah, and we need less hate in the world and more hate in sports in the rivalry term, not fans versus players.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
did you keep up or watch any of the other games that were on yesterday? Or no, not really. You were just so honed
Um,
in.
I mean, I watched a little bit of Baltimore last night and
Mm-hmm.
New England. New England ended up winning. I
That.
think probably clinching the division.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't watch. What was the afternoon games?
Denver and
I was watching
Jacksonville.
one, but it wasn't entertaining. It was kind of a blowout.
In terms of the afternoon games, there was the Arizona Atlanta game, which I'd rather watch paint dry. Then it was the Raiders Texans game. And then the Jags and Broncos. Now the earlier games, which
Yeah, I meant the early games. There was
yeah,
two
yeah,
games on. And I was watching one of them, and it wasn't a entertaining game.
I was gonna say it might have been the Bengals and Dolphins, or the Saints and Jets. But with the Chiefs' offense looking just when I wasn't watching the fucking game because I wanted to see the Bucks and Panthers game because I'm like, okay, leading the division on the line, let's see what's up. And when I got a notification on my phone, Gardner Minshew questionable to return, I pulled that fucking game up because I'm like, who the fuck is playing quarterback for the Chiefs? And one of my buddies that I was watching the game with, he was like, yeah, you don't have to ask that question ever because it's Mahomes for the
Yeah.
past however many years. But yeah, when it's it's so glaring, and Kelsey, it's funny. So Kelsey leads the fan votes he leads the fan voting section for the Pro Bowl. And the
Of
Pro
course he does, because it's all the Swifties.
Yeah, and the Pro Bowl will be announced. Starters will be announced tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. But yeah, it was just so funny when I saw it because it's like Kelsey's probably on his way out, if not this year, next year. And the Chiefs, they're just, I mean, they were dead last week, and now they're like they lost to the Titans. And the Titans it was so funny because when the Titans got a safety, I was like, this game might end 2-0.
Yeah.
But,
I knew that under would hit. 37.5.
I was so surprised on how just Jacksonville beat the shit out of Denver.
Yeah. Jacksonville, they might be the team that I might have to root for throughout the playoffs because, just someone new and
When
kind of out of the blue.
when Travis Hunter went down, I wanted to see where was there. Obviously, they have Brian Thomas Jr., who's a very, very explosive receiver. But like, I wanted to see who was your other piece. And Parker Washington, what I tell you, damn near the game of his life. He had 6 for a buck 45 and a touchdown, and Trevor Lawrence combined for 4 more touchdowns. He had 6 last week and 4 this week. So, and scoring 30 on Denver's defense, we already know is extremely difficult. And the fact that it was in their building, I'm not. It's funny because we don't really think about it. The Jags are still alive for the 1 seed, and it's just to think Liam Cohen, all these coaches in their first year, Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, they're just they are speeding up expectations and are way ahead of schedule in terms of team success.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would have thought the Bears would have been
No.
first place in the North and having a possible number 1 seed. Have the Jaguars ever been the number 1 seed?
I think they were the number 1 seed in 99.
Yes. Yep, 99. 14-2.
And what's funny is they lost 3 games all year, and it was to the Titans. All 3 games were to the Titans. They got swept by the Titans in the regular season, then they lost in the
Really?
divisional. Yeah.
All right. Really quick.
Yeah.
I'm looking this up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It would be.
I got the 99 Jacksonville Jaguars roster. I'm looking for their starting quarterback. Because I think I know who it is, and I want to see if you know who it is.
Was it Mark Brunell? Or was that too early?
They just have everyone listed. God damn it! I want to see the depth chart.
Was it Mark Brunell?
Just hold on for a second, buddy. Starting
That's
QB.
funny.
Yes, it was Mark Brunell.
The lefty.
That's who I thought it was.
The lefty.
Yep.
There's not many. It's gonna.
Do you know who their starting running back was?
Was it fucking? Was it Fred Taylor?
It was Fred Taylor.
That was back when they had Jimmy Smith, the receiver. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, they kind of had a nice squad.
They had, did they have Keenan McCardell?
I don't know. I thought you looked at. I thought you leaned in to look it up on the computer.
Um, but
If Jacksonville fucks around and makes it, and once again, the AFC's wide open. Last time I remember the Jags were really, really, really good after Blake Bortles whooped my team's ass in the playoffs. Jalen Ramsey, was at the stadium when they flew back, and he told all the fans, "We're going to the Super Bowl and we're going to win that bitch." So if someone says we're going to, just make sure Trevor Lawrence or Liam Cohen doesn't say we're going to win that bitch, because that's. But yeah, like the almost now it kind of took them a little bit to really kick up, but like no one's talking about the Jags because forever their franchise has been a shit show. But the thing is, if you're a shit show for so long, and it's kind of funny because Detroit fan and they've been bad for a long time, you get all these high draft picks. So you just accumulate first round talent. Like, they got some dudes in Jacksonville.
yeah, yeah. Well, the Lions are back to being the Lions. Maybe next year.
Yeah, I still can't believe when Jacksonville had the number 1 pick and they took Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson. But I mean, he's
Kayvon Thibodeau. Like I wanted Kayvon Thibodeau over Aiden Hutchinson, but
we love Hutch. I think he had a sack and a half. Yesterday,
I think he
had 2 sacks.
He had 2 sacks in the first half. I don't know. He probably didn't do anything in the second half because they couldn't stop anyone. But yeah, man, Depression Monday.
Speaking of sacks, Myles Garrett is a sack away from breaking the record. Which
no one cares about records anymore. Let's just fucking play more games. Let's we got games on Christmas. We got 8 of them. Let's go.
We got 8 of them.
Let's have every record broken so that they don't mean anything because we just add more games and it's easier, and that's what they should do. They shouldn't, like, for the NFL at least, because they're so dramatic as far as like making more games, and like they're baseball ain't never gonna have more than 162 games.
They might they might have less games.
Right, and basketball and hockey are always going to stay the same. So what they should do in football is their record should be, this is the record based on this game or this amount of games, like instead of like total touchdowns or total sacks, like the record should be
for 12
games per game played.
Mm-hmm. Like I still think when people talk about, Jim Brown rushed for 2,000 back when they had 12 games, that's where when they first added the extra game, I was like, okay, well then eventually records and stuff are going to be obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
Because
absolutely.
Because
you know why? Because the NFL is fucking greedy. They don't care, and they just want more money.
Money.
They don't care if half their players get torn ACLs week 16 through 18. So, hey, thanks. Hey, thanks for ruining next year, guys. Thanks for ruining Patrick Mahomes and Danny Dimes and Micah Parsons and, let's name some other guys. Thanks for taking away your stars, you fucks. I think Lamar Jackson got hurt yesterday. That's cool.
Lamar's a different kind of always hurt. Because I don't know what it's been this year and last year last year he wasn't hurt. It was just he was just constantly good throughout. But it's like I think Baltimore is almost assuredly they're finna be in tear down then tweak mode in the offseason. Cause like you can't tell me they don't have a good roster. Yeah, Nnamdi Madubuike's missed the whole year with his neck injury, and he's a top he's a top 10 nose tackle. But like Lamar just finds a way every it seems like every December to just get the flu or a back or an ankle. Like I don't know what it is, and the NFL is obviously better when Lamar Jackson plays. And last night they immediately jumped all over New England. All over them immediately. And John Harbaugh is one of the more confusing coaches that I've ever seen. Super Bowl, winner, so I will forever tip my cap. But like midway through the game, New England is like, we can't stop Derrick Henry. So you know what John Harbaugh is gonna do? I'm gonna take Derrick Henry off the field. Like it's the most confusing shit I've ever seen. Like I understand Keaton Mitchell is he's your speedster. Then you have your Justice Hill, more of a receiving threat. But and I understand you want to maximize all the talent you have on offense. But at what point do you have Derrick Henry and you're having trouble? We're gonna run Derrick Henry 38 times, and we don't care how many 2, 3, 4 yard gains he gets because you know why? Because he's gonna break one eventually. And
Yeah.
I know he had the 21-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. He had like another 22-yarder in the third quarter, and it just Ravens find a way to lose these games. And it didn't surprise me when they were up 11 in the fourth that they blew it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what happens.
Well, just like them, we blew it today. So thanks for joining us here on this very morning Monday. We are live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Our next show will be on Christmas Eve. So,
Ooh.
yay,
La la
Christmas
la
Eve.
la la la.
I have a lot of to look forward on Christmas now that my Lions are playing and I don't fucking care. Go check us out. Hit that subscribe button on New Leaf News' YouTube channel. Join us live if you can. If you can't, find out the episode after and enjoy us after lunch. Go over to newleafnews.com/.network. Both of them take you to the same great site, whether it's, sports, entertainment, gaming, horoscopes, murder shit, me being depressed. You name it, we got it. Go over there, hit that subscribe button if you'd like. If you got some, forms of social media, we're on 5 different platforms, whether it's Blue Sky, Facebook, X, Instagram, or TikTok. Go give us a follow over there. We'd appreciate it. I am Bobby Kaboose on Instagram and on X. That stupid looking fool wearing the Steelers jersey. That's Lawson _1226. Hey, his birthday's in 4 days, but hey, after yesterday, I don't give a fuck anymore. So don't give him shit. Otherwise, Lawson, if you want to take us out. I have some flowers to plant and
I might be
water to drink.
I might be a fool, but I'm a winning fool. For New Leaf News and Legends Clubhouse, I am Lawson Turner, and that right there is Bobby Kaboose. We will see you, beautiful people, Wednesday afternoon at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, we hope you enjoy your Monday and Tuesday, and we'll be back Wednesday. Until next time, peace.